More trouble for the PDP national chairman. Dr. Yocha Ayu's High Court in Makurdi has restrained him from parading himself as the chairman of the party pending the determination of the lawsuit. For Yocha Ayu says only party NEC can suspend him. And the police authorities today say about 781 electoral offenders have been arrested in the 2023 general elections. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimbale in Abuja. Let's begin by letting you know the latest coming from INEC. The Independent National Electoral Commission has fixed Saturday, the 15th of April, for governorship, national and state assembly supplementary elections. The Commission made the disclosure in a statement today after its meeting and decided that all outstanding hanging governorship, national and state assembly supplementary elections will take place on the weekend of the 15th of April 2023. And barely 2 months to the end of the second term of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, the presidency is convinced that Nigerians will yearn for President Buhari when he leaves office. In an interview with Channels Television, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Mr. Garba Shehu, lamented the level of criticisms thrown at the president, asserting that leaders are not loved in office. He also spoke about the situation in respect of the cash policy under the Buhari government.
You know, my own sense is that we as Nigerians, we don't like our leaders. There will be love at first sight. There will be honeymoon period. When they come in, the honeymoon doesn't last a year. And then love is replaced by hatred. We don't like them. It is after they leave office that people will begin to say, why is this man? If he was here, ABC would not have happened. Look at how we came in 2015, and you see the glory with which, say, Mr. Jonathan is treated, is received, not only in Nigeria but in the entire continent. So people will ask the question, is it the same one that Nigerians said they didn't like in 2015 and they threw him out? So we are comfortable in our hearts, in our minds. President Buhari will go, Nigerians will yearn for him.
That's Mr. Garba Shehu saying Nigerians will yearn for President Buhari after he leaves office on the 29th of May. That takes us to finding out what is happening in other parts of the country and politically, what are the activities that are up, the politicians are up to. Victoria Long John, my colleague, is standing by to give you an update on the political roundup stories.
Thank you, Sean. Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria Longjohn, and here are your political roundup stories for today. As part of efforts to stem the tide of insecurity, the governor-elect of Katsina State, Mr. Diko Umaru, has announced plans to face the challenges bedeviling the state with the aim of providing lasting solutions. Speaking at the APC headquarters in Abuja, Mr. Umaru says a lot of issues pertaining to insecurity under the APC government and other challenges impoverishing the masses will be tackled headlong in order to restore peace and confidence in the state.
Reform the public policy, public service, in terms of training, retraining, digitalizing the system, making them very knowledgeable and skillful so that they can achieve the policy direction of our administration.
The senatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party for Borno Central Senatorial District, Mr. Mohammed Kumalia, is accusing the ad hoc staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) of tampering with ballot papers, which are part of the evidence to be tendered in court. Mr. Kumalia stated this during a media briefing in Abuja. He said 2 INEC ad hoc staff were caught red-handed, thumbprinting ballot papers and stuffing them into ballot boxes for Mafa local government inside the premises premises of the INEC office in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
I have filed a petition before the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Maiduguri, who obtained a court order to inspect materials used for the elections.
Ahead of November governorship election in Imo State, political leaders and stakeholders from Owerri North local government area under the Imo East Senatorial District in Imo State have passed a vote of confidence on Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodimma and thrown their weight behind the governor's second-term bid in office. Addressing journalists in Owerri, the Imo State capital, the leaders say Governor Hope Uzodimma deserves a second tenure in office, as the people of Imo State want continuity of all the good works the governor has done within the last 3.5 years, especially in the areas of infrastructure and human capital development.
What distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma has done in Imo State, it is the opinion of Owerri North people that the governor should be returned for the second term.
A member of the House of Representatives representing Yagba East West Mokpamuro Federal Constituency in Kogi State, Mr. Leke Abejude, has declared his intention to run for the governorship of Kogi State under the party, the African Democratic Congress ADC. Speaking after obtaining his nomination and expression of interest forms as the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja, Mr. Abejude says he will tackle endemic insecurity in the state by reviving the local government system if voted as governor.
The local government staff who are the majority, they are being paid their full salaries, they go to work, they are able to take care of their children.
The Labour Party Coalition for True Democracy are calling on the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to suspend the planned presentation of a certificate of return to the PDP governorship candidate who was declared as the governor-elect for Enugu State. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the General Secretary of the coalition, Mr. Chukwudi Igwe, says the election that was conducted on the 18th of March 2023 in Enugu State was characterized by electoral malpractices in Nkanu East, Nkanu West, Nsukka, and 3 other local government areas of the state. And in Edo State, the candidate of the Labour Party for Oredo East constituency in the March 18, 2023 Edo State House of Assembly elections, Peter Idahosa, has protested at the INEC Edo State headquarters in Benin City, calling for announcements of results which were declared inconclusive. Mr. Idahosa insists the results from Oredo East constituency were clearly in his favour before collation stopped. He insists that the electoral umpire is dancing to the tune of Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki of the People's Democratic Party, who is from Oredo constituency. Responding to the allegations, INEC spokesperson Timidi Warowe maintains that the matter should be channeled to the appropriate quarters for resolution. Members of the All Progressives Congress today gathered at the Unity Fountain in Abuja to protest what they called the intimidation of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC and other staff of the commission by supporters of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, who have continued to protest the outcome of the 2023 presidential elections. The protesters say their candidate, Mr. Bola Tinubu, worked hard and emerged victorious in a free, fair and credible process. Those are your political roundup stories. It's back to you, Sheon.
Thank you so much, Victoria, for those stories. And now you've been up to speed with all of the stories, everyone. Let's stand by and let's get started with the program. We'll begin by also letting you know that the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, says a total of 781 suspects have been arrested for various electoral offenses during the 2023 general elections. The IG met in Abuja today with senior police officers, including commissioners of police from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, a meeting which held at a force headquarters in Abuja. The police chief warns that the Nigerian police force will not tolerate any act is capable of jeopardizing the peace of the country, as he told political actors in the country to desist from making comments that could spark violence in the country. Take a listen to the police IG.
I must firmly warn that the Nigerian police and other security agencies shall not tolerate the resort to incitement or any act designed to threaten our national security. They are therefore advised in the strongest possible terms to henceforth draw back on current attempts to engender tension within the national security space to avoid attracting appropriate law enforcement response. In regard to this, feedbacks so far received across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT indicates that a total of 489 major electoral infractions leading to the arrest of a total of 781 offenders were recorded nationally, both during the presidential and the National Assembly elections and the governorship and the State House of Assembly elections, while not less than 66 firearms of various descriptions were recovered from electoral adversaries.
That's the Inspector General of Police. So let's get to our very first conversation tonight, because tonight, first and foremost, there are those who are still not happy with the outcome of the different elections across the Federation, and at the presidential level, the governorship, the House of Assembly, or the National Assembly elections. There are people who are planning to go to court. Some people had already gone to court. One of those is what the protests we have been seeing in Nasarawa State, protesting the outcome of that election. We'll be getting the man whom they've been protesting for. But before we go there to Nasarawa to get what exactly is going on the ground, let's tell you that a high court in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, has restrained the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Yocha Ayu, from parading himself as the chairman of the party pending the determination of the substantive suit, which has been adjourned to April 17th, 2023 for hearing. A member of the PDP from Benue State, Mr. Tahide Utan, who took the matter to the court before Justice Upochi, obtained the order restraining Senator Ayu from parading himself as a national chairman of the PDP. Mr. Utan says, following the suspension of Ayu by his Igorov ward executives on Sunday, it is wrong for Mr. Ayu to keep up with the office of the national chairman and further disuniting the party. Let me allow you to listen to him.
We naturally expected that out of the performance that we have just recorded as a party in Benue, we naturally expected, like it's done in Senate climbs, for the former national chairman, Senator Yocha Ayu, to have stepped aside honorably because he wasn't able to lead the party to victory and allow the party to move on without him. Unfortunately, he has refused to display that kind of honor. So I thought it wise to approach the court to see how to agree with the position of his ward, who only 24 hours ago had suspended him from the party. Our expectation is that you cannot be the national chairman of a party that you are not a member of. Unfortunately, or should I say fortunately for us as a party, Yocha Ayu is no longer a member of the People's Democratic Party as declared by his ward, and under normal circumstances, he has no reason whatsoever to continue as national chairman of our party.
That is a man who dragged Senator Yocha Ayu to court and asked that the court should stop Mr. Ayu from parading himself as a chairman of the PDP, where Senator Ayu was suspended on the weekend for anti-party activities in the wake of the party's loss in the presidential election. But in a statement by his media aide, Simon Moboswan, the PDP national chairman argued that the ward lacked the powers to suspend him. He said that the PDP constitution expressly prohibits any organ of the party or executive committee at ward, state, or national level to take any disciplinary measure against any member of the National Executive Committee. Therefore, only the NEC can suspend him. Ayu also stated that the purported announcement of his suspension is only mischief, drama, and propaganda, adding that it was an exercise in futility that is derivable from gross ignorance and desperation. Well, the PDP National Working Committee has been reacting to these, and they said officially they've not gotten any communication from the ward level that suspended Mr. Yocha Ayu. Take a listen to the party's National Publicity Secretary.
We don't just wake up one morning and begin to respond to situation. When we get those information, we'll consider that. And that the NWC will do that. That's what we do. We don't rush into judgment. We are not preemptive. We look at the documents. There's a release by the chairman. There's his purported letter right there. We look at it. And that's what organization that has system do. So it's not, I won't come here and give you half truth. So you give me the opportunity of reviewing that and come back to you when the party takes a position. The chairman has responded and you have it already. That is it for now. When the party has a position, of course you become, we don't do things in secret, we're not a secret society.
That is what the PDP National Publicity Secretary said earlier today. But let's get some perspective. When we think that all of these internal wranglings of the PDP going into that election, after the election, we've seen its suspension of a former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, a former SGF and former Senate President Pius Ayim, and a few members of the party have been suspended on the National Working Committee of the party. But in all of this, what becomes of the PDP now that they lost an election, they are going to court, and all of this is happening? Let's get some perspective on this one. I'm being joined by a member of the PDP Board of Trustees, Chief Bode George. He joins us live from Ikoyi area of Lagos. Thank you so much, Chief George, for joining us tonight. And let me ask you straight away, what is going on with your party? Things are fast falling apart. What exactly can you tell us?
Thank you very much for inviting me. And as a live Board of Trustee member of this party, when issues like this keep hitting your party, I think it is the right time for the elders, and that's the essence of the Board of Trustee of the party, to come in to douse the tension. We want very early, as we were preparing for the national elections, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. So many mistakes have been made that completely differed from the perceptions of the founding fathers of this party. But that is not for the public. My appeal to all sides is like the labor people, the National Labor Union always talk or say, coolly temper. I believe that, yes, mistakes were made. Atrocious mistakes were made. And, you know, this is not a private enterprise. There are rules, there are laws that have been flouted by the managers of the party. And my appeal is that the elections are not over. The physical voting are over. But we are now in court. And the way we are doing it means we want to completely drown this ship of PDP. And I want to plead with everybody to calm down. All these fireworks, the people that have been suspended for what? Suspended by who? Is it at this critical time that our candidate is still there in the court for adjudication? You are undermining everything that reflects the PDP. The PDP is one formidable party. It's like an Iroko tree in this country that shows the full colors of this country. And once you deviate from the norm, you are bound to find all kinds of fireworks coming from all asunder. So, coolly temper. I want to plead with every side. Otherwise, I don't want us to end up like the AMPP, like the AD party, like this. The founding fathers will be jostling in their grave now because they conceived that this party, with the tenets on which the party was established, will be here for centuries to come as examples. But we warned, we advised the management, calm down. When you hear one story, listen to the other side. But don't be like a totalitarian, because it's not a private company. This is the first time in the history of this party that you will find, now you are being fired from your ward, from, the word of the national chairman. That is the man who carries the burden of the party. But because of the things he had done, you are inviting the major representative of the party in the state to report for disciplinary action. A former deputy national chairman, North, who was also twice governor of Katsina, to be suspended. Ayo Fauci also to be suspended. If you start suspending the pillars of the party, what are you doing to the foundation? You are collapsing the foundation. So, as an elder of the party, as a live board member of the board of trustees of the party, and the board of trustees' responsibility is to make sure that when you have crisis on one point or the other, you could and call everybody to order. So I am pleading with all sides to come down. There must be, at the end of the court sessions, a post-mortem analysis of how we handled this party from the time of the primaries through to the elections and whatever the judgment will be. Otherwise, this ship of PDP is taking in water. And as an old sailor, I don't want this ship to go down. Please appeal to all sides. Cool yourselves. I just heard the publicity secretary talking about this. If there is a court order, it's a court order. Whether you've seen it or not, do you want that some of us will be happy if they now issue an order, the police to arrest the chairman of our party to come because he has disobeyed an order? You go there. You have national legal advisor. You follow the rules. So I appeal to all. He has exercised certain rights that should have been moderated. It's not a military organization. When you run the political association, you have people with characterization from 0 to infinity in behavior. And so when you continue to think you are an executive chairman, you can do whatever you like, whatever you say is the final.
Chief George, Chief George, apologies.
And the cool heads.
Yeah, let me jump in quickly. Now, you are being in this party and you understand how the constitution of the party and how things have progressed over the last 20 years or more. And you know what the constitution of the party has said about the suspension of a national officer of the party, that just as the national chairman. And this is one thing that the national chairman is arguing, that no one within the ward level can, or in fact the state or regional level, can suspend him. It is only the neck of the party that can suspend him. Do you see it as an aberration that a ward organ of the party will be suspending the national chairman of the party? Or how do you see the suspension coming from the ward level?
Look, what I said to you is this. When you start on a journey or on an issue or in a process, make sure you complete the process. Now, these fellows in that ward, in his chairman's ward, said they suspended him. And they are now gone to court for whatever. Now the judiciary is not part of the party. An order has been issued. Normally, it is the neck that can suspend, expel any member of the National Executive Committee of the party. So I am pleading with all the others. What is wrong You know, you don't sit in your office, okay, you got a court order. The national legal advisor is there. Let him go to the court and make sure that, you know, you appear before the judge and say your point. And then you remove it, remove the order. But if you don't do that, you know, you are also laying an example of disobeying a lawful order from the court. I know as a practice, as our constitution. So they can carry the constitution to that court and show it to them that, look, this is section blah, 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 you know, and that you cannot suspend, you cannot even expel a member of NEC. And so the judge himself will see it. These are dirty politics started by him, the chief executive himself. So if people are now throwing stones at him, I'm trying to make him look like as if he's guilty, he doesn't know what he's doing. It is because you have gone to start a process which is now negatively affecting the other members, and they will do anything. But my plea is that all sides should please just calm down.
All right, so
there would be
Judge,
a post-mortem analysis where we will prove all those things, all these issues, and we stop it. Otherwise, they will sink this ship, and it will be a disgrace. You know, so him as the chief executive must not see his ship go down. How would a captain of a ship encourage his ship to go down? It's an unforgivable sin. So let him cool his temper. It's not a matter of grammar or legal or whatever. There will be a post-mortem analysis. So, and when you do post-mortem analysis, you don't go to the market.
So, Chief Judge,
close the doors
now, So I'd like to ask, I mean, you are not a fan of Senator Ayu. You are one of those who have campaigned that he should step aside. So are you saying that for the moment, until the case is decided, Mr. Ayu should yield to the court order and step aside? Is that what you're advising for the moment? Is that what you're telling him?
What I'm saying simply, Sita, is this. If there is that court order, that a judge has issued an order, the national legal advisor representing the party, representing Ayu, should go to that court and plead with the judge that this kind of order cannot hold because of ABCD. If you don't do that and you disregard the order from the court, then you are looking for trouble. You are making
invariably, Chief Judge, your party does not have a national chairman as we speak, based on the court order. Well, let me then ask you, with what has been happening, for someone like you that said, Senator Ayu should step aside, considering that you are aligning yourself with the G5 governors of the PDP. With all what is going on, I mean, what would you say, in fact, if the court has ruled on this matter or this issue has been resolved, elections are now over, because some of the issues that were raised was that let the elections be concluded, then we can now speak about this matter. Now that the election is now over, what would be your advice, since you are one of those who have said you do not want Senator Ayu?
You know, Sheil, it's not a matter of wanting Ayu or not. All I was saying, as a respecter of the rules of the party, was that this party, when the founding fathers came, made it extremely clear that whoever emerges as the president cannot come from the same zone as the national chairman. And remember what you told us. If, peradventure, the presidential candidate emerges from the north, I will resign. Now, he didn't. But those mistakes have been made. And the underbelly of the party is still rumbling. And whether I like him, or I don't like him, or I was part of this, or not, that is not the issue now. the main issue now is that we must stabilize this platform. And how do we stabilize it? Let everybody cool down. You said the elections are over. Yes, the physical part of it is over. We're in court. If we start firing ourselves and disrupting everything and making the party look like a divided house is a defeated house. For God's sake, if we love this party, all noise from everywhere must now be quiet. Let us go and do a post-mortem so that we don't repeat these mistakes in the future. And then decisions will be made, who will remain, who will not remain, who did what. It's not by suspending people, notable people, respectable people, committed members of the party. You know, that's not the solution to it. There is no stubbornness in this. You are not running a military barracks. You are running a political party. And in a political party, you have different mindsets. People, you must disagree, but you must not be disagreeable. Let us make sure that what we are going to do for posterity, that even the founding fathers will be happy with us wherever they are in heaven. But the way you are doing it, that you have absolute powers, what about this kind of nonsense had never happened in the party? That he would have annoyed his ward or a state to execute a warrant on him that he should step aside? No, never. Two wrongs don't make a right.
All right,
That's
Chief George,
I'm saying,
we're due for a break. Yeah.
Let us calm down.
Yeah.
Let's calm down and sort the whole thing out.
Yeah, we are due for a break. But when we come back, this is the third consecutive times that your party has been beating at the presidential election. You said that there is a need for introspection and a post-mortem. Will we carry out this introspection? You have also said that you will go on a self-imposed exile. We will be talking about the outcome of the presidential election, the position of the PDP, plus what Governor Nyesom Wike had said about Senator Ayu, plus other issues in your party when we return from this break. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on the program. Let's get back to the conversation with Chief Bode George, a member of the PDP's Board of Trustees. Thank you so much, Chief George, for your time tonight. Let's get back to the conversation. 3 times now that your party has lost in the presidential election. And you were very upset in 2015, and you called it the bloody nose. And that's each time I interview you after then, I've pushed back that that particular statement to say, that bloody nose, when will it cease? Now, it seems that is now becoming a recurrent issue. What exactly is going on, and with what happened in the election, did you see it coming? Because you were one of those who were on the other side that portrayed public rebellion on your party before the election.
No, don't call it a public rebellion. As a leader, as a father, as a life board of trustee member of the party, there are leaders there who got very angry about the procedure. What happened? You know, we defied the laws of the party. We defied and removed some pillars of the foundation of the party. What else do you expect? What else do you expect? You know, I remember that I said a divided house will be a defeated house. I said that before the election. Number 2, I said that the PDP is like an Iroko tree. And any tree, any living tree, you know, once the roots are still healthy, the leaves can change yellow, green, yellow, depending on the season. So if we got a bloody nose and we sat back, like I said, and we did not do a thorough introspection or a thorough post-mortem analysis and learn from the mistakes, we are bound to repeat the mistakes of the past. There are the fundamentals that establish this party. There is no other political party as solid as PDP. APC is a contraption. It's a congregation of strange bedfellows. I don't want to comment on the election because they're now in court before somebody will come and arrest me for illegal statement. But what I am saying, simpliciter, is this. Mistakes have been made. If you don't correct them, you're bound to have many more in the future. And that's why I said this particular case, we will have to shut the doors. The Board of Trustee members, the NEC members, and we will tell ourselves some home truths. I'm almost 80. What is it that I'm looking for? I love this party. I saw the party at the beginning. I was national chairman of Southwest. National vice chairman Southwest. I became deputy national chairman South. Became deputy national chairman overall. I spent 10 years. And if we found people trying to manipulate the rules of the game, you call the attention to it. But like I said, this is not the time for public analysis or post-mortem. We will shut the doors of our party and tell ourselves some home truths. And that's that day, God willing, I will be there to tell ourselves some home truths. I remember one of the meetings when I saw the way the shenanigan going on. I walked out of the meeting because I saw it. And these guys were trying to destroy what those founding fathers put on ground and embellish for this country. So the lesson we have learned now will be futuristic. The solutions that we will provide will be futuristic. Whether this APC won or they didn't win, let's wait for the outcome. All the three major candidates are right now in the courts. After the court judgment, then we will meet, we will discuss, and we will decide on the way forward. For me, that's why I was appealing to all sides to cool temper. Let us wait for the outcome of the court. Who says we cannot win in the court? But that doesn't mean the party is well. And if we lose at the court, who says the party is well? We have to go back. What made those 5 governors to disagree? What made the other elders who joined the G5 governors to say, no, this is not the way it should be? Is Jerry Ghana a new member of the party? Is Governor Jang a new member of the party? These are foundation members. And the governor of Cross River, Donald Duke, these are founding members of the party. Something went wrong. And we kept talking, nobody listened. So I would, stop short at this level. But we will meet. We will examine what went wrong. How did we do this? How did we do that? So many things. I am shocked. In fact, I'm told that Shema had been suspended. Governor Shema, suspended. And what are we doing? What are we doing?
Chief George, does this scenario give you a feeling that your party is falling apart and perhaps the shell are not coming together? What is your biggest fear in all of what is happening?
I am pleading with them on behalf of so many other elders who had suffered, who love this party like their own personal property, that it should never go down. Because the concept that those founding fathers brought solved the solution, solved the problem of majority having their way and their say, and minorities just being onlookers, both north and south. We have resolved that forever. And people came up with all kinds of unbelievable suggestions, and that has landed us on the deck. You know, the last time I said we got a bloody nose. Now, let's wait until the judgments from the court. I don't want to make and jump to a conclusion, but my plea as a leader of this party, as a father of this party, because we must mentor the younger generations coming. We must imbibe in them the love, the commitment, the loyalty created by those founding fathers.
All right, Chief George,
the only
if you are,
I have seen.
Yeah, so if you are going to fix the party, because a few members of your party, someone like former Governor Ayofaya has said that, well, he's taking a bow out of the PDP for now. Former Senate President Pius Ayim has also said, well, he's not, he openly said he doesn't have any regret supporting the APC in his state. These are leaders of your party. They have formed some pillars that have helped your party over the years. If there is any way to, because you are basically pleading for the conciliation in your party, but if there is a way to move forward and perhaps a manner in which the party needs to come together, what would you be advising? How do you hope that that will go ahead? Is it to set aside the leadership now, or what way will you be proffering tonight?
No. You know, I cannot. If you have a family and you have a problem within the family, you don't go to the marketplace to start espousing and telling them my operational beliefs, this will be my own way of resolving it or not. All I am saying, there is a methodology. The party has a system. Thank God, some members of the Board of Trustees are still there, who have been in the party since 1998. They are still there, who knew how the party was established, who knew the norms of the party, who knew the rules that established the party. Thank God they are still alive and they are still strong. They still have the strength to come. We will beg them. We will pull them back. We can disagree without being disagreeable. I had been with the national chairman before when I was talking about Lagos State, that the Congress of Lagos, the report from INEC that were the observers, was that it was inconclusive. He said, oh, one of his friends came there and told him this, and he just took a decision. You don't do things like that. So such issues will be taken in, we will analyze, we will debate, we will discuss. Now, once the elections are really over, after the judicial judgment, then we can sit down. Because who says we can still not win at the court? It is still possible. But whether we win or we lose, we must sit down to look at how we handle this party from the middle of last year. Was it a super managerial skill, or was it handled in a manner that was absolutely disheartening, a manner that was very heart-wrenching? We will discuss that.
All right,
I can't conclude.
Yeah.
People will have other opinion, but my plea, and I'm begging them, let them sit back, calm down. Otherwise, when you start yanching off the branches from a tree, very soon you get to the roots. And when you get to the top of the tree, end of it.
Yeah, there are those, in fact, who say you are one of those who have contributed to the problem of the PDP, at least in the last few months. And they have criticized your endorsement of another candidate other than the candidate of your party in Lagos State, where you are the leader of the party. And those who are saying that that in itself is a major problem, that the house, your own house in Lagos, is also having a major crisis. And that how would you then come forward to say you're proffering solution when indeed you went out of your party to endorse another party candidate, and that openly you are also did not support the party over the last few months? How would you respond to this, Chief George?
Now, you know, you're still coming back to the issues I'm talking about. I won't I won't answer such questions and queries by those who have no idea how this party was established, how this party grew from its infancy to wherever it is today. You know, a lot of people coming into the party, they do all kinds of very terrible behavior, a lot of nonsensical and malpractices, you know, that they did. The national itself is aware of what such characters did. Disgraceful. And if you said that I supported somebody from another party, it was not me as PDP. There is a group called Omo Eko Pataki, and as a bona fide Lagosian, we sat back out of, as I said, remove all the facades of the political parties. We took each one of those candidates from Sanwo-Olu to Jandor and to this, and we weighed them back. And what we found was that the best candidate, he just left the party out of anger. That is the problem that went all over the whole place. And there was a movement, a new movement going around this country. And we said, look, who has the capacity, who has the educational background, who has the moral background to handle my state? We all decided this is this chap. Where did he come from? Was he contested before? The fellow I supported, I didn't hide it, you know, as a Lagosian. But as a PDP, the fellow that got the ticket was on another planet, behaving in his own, whatever, disgustingly. So what Chief I did was, Omeko Pataki is different from PDP. So we are ready. But like I said to you, today is not a day for postmortem.
Chief George, let us wrap up.
Done within.
Yeah, I just have a few seconds to go on the program, and I have these quick questions, which I think that maybe in 60 seconds you can help me out on them. And the fact that you did not support Jandor, that's Jide Adediran, your party candidate in the governorship election in Lagos. Do you have any regret making that decision?
No regrets whatsoever. And let me tell you something also. I said it publicly, maybe on your program too, that I said to our presidential candidates, and openly, that if they do not reorganize the top positions to honor the Southwest in the bracket, the apex of those managing the elections, I will not vote for Atiku. I didn't hide it. I said it to them. I said it openly. Because presidential candidate, Northeast. The Director General of the campaign, Northwest. National Chairman, North Central. South, Vice Presidential candidate, South. Acting Board of Trustee Chairman, Southeast. Where is Southwest? I kept asking, where is Southwest? The largest electoral state in this country is also in Lagos, which is part of Southwest. What do you give us? You said, wait until after election. Oh, there's no boy in Idori anymore. We said, no, you got to do something. And I was howling on that. Nobody listened. Till we finished, nobody of importance is in that top bracket. Isn't that an anomaly? Is that acceptable? In any society, a whole large Yoruba sector, we were completely disregarded. And no respect, no order. So what would you think I would say to climb a rostrum and say I am campaigning for a presidential candidate? People would have stoned me to death. And what are you bringing home for the Yoruba people? Nothing. So, you know, everything has the ups and downs, and the right and the wrong.
Let me shift my...
Eventually, the party will meet. The party will meet.
Let me shoot my final question because we're totally out of time. In this part of the conversation. So my final question to you, and if you can help me answer it very briefly. You were bent on going on a self-imposed exile. But there is there are those who believe that there is a need that after the election, that as a people, as a nation, that we need to come together and forge a common front and move this country forward. And there are those who believe that maybe there is no need for you to embark on such an exile. Would you still want to embark on such an exile or task?
I didn't hide my feelings. I said, if this fellow becomes the president, I will lose my interest. One, politically, I have a right as a Nigerian to live anywhere I want to live and don't participate. They don't have the capacity, the ability to run this nation. And if it is still like they are there, we have finished the physical one. We saw what happened, but let me leave it like that. Let the courts decide. The judiciary will they are now, all the ball is in their court. Let them take whatever decisions they want to take. But remember, I'm not a young man anymore. What am I looking for? To build a new house, to look for another wife, or to look for another car? If I'm not satisfied with the way things are going, I have a right to go and stay anywhere I want to live for the rest of my life and play with my children and grandchildren. If you keep on for the last 25 years, we've been talking, let's do right, let us do the best, let us do this. They told us, they convinced us that it will be electronically transmitted results for the process. And I remember Oga Patapata, General Buhari, saying that he wants to leave as a legacy a change in the electoral process. Was there a change in this electoral process? What were they doing in collation centers? What were they doing in collation centers? Are we kidding? Yeah. I am an electronics engineer of 53 years in practice. So why are we deceiving ourselves?
Chief George,
it pains me.
Yeah, we're totally out of time. But yeah, we're out of that point. Well, there we go.
I want to thank you, and I wish our country well. I haven't committed any offense that would debar me. I can go to Lomé to live. I can go to Cotonou. I can go to Ghana. I can even go to Iceland. I can go to anywhere I want, because with my green passport and my credibility and worthiness, I can live anywhere. I'm a professional engineer. I retired as a very senior naval officer. So what is it? Where have I not been? I'm just bothered about the younger generations. We are mentoring them. Yeah. Let's do what is right.
Thank you so much. We need to power down on this part of the conversation. Thank you so much indeed, Chief Bode George, a member of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you so much for your interventions and your perspectives tonight on the issues that were brought before you. Thank you so much indeed. Let's switch gears now, everyone, and let's talk more about what is happening in the aftermath of the elections. We're talking about Nasarawa State now. The People's Democratic Party in Nasarawa State has rejected the results of the governorship election held on the 18th of March and have called for the cancellation of the election. Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission since declared the incumbent governor, Governor Abdullahi Sule, who was on this program a few days ago, and he scored 347,209 votes in the contest, and he defeated his closest challenger, Dr. David Ombugado of the PDP, who scored 283,016 votes, and he emerged the winner and declared return for the election for a second term in office. But the PDP is not happy about it. And Mr. David Ombugado tonight joins us virtually from just the Plateau State capital. Thank you so much, Mr. Ombugado, for joining us tonight. The election has been decided. A winner has emerged. Why are you not happy with the outcome?
Shemu, thank you very much. I am also conscious of the time given to me. I want to also use this opportunity to register my protest that Channels Television in Nasarawa State only operates in Government House. Please, for record, I want you to take note of that. And then again, we all have seen the outcome of the vote allocation that took place in Nasarawa State. On the IRF, the evidence are there, and all the independent situation rooms that joined forces to collate this result also have this evidence of the outcome of the election. It was a case of vote allocation in Gayam ward in Lafia local government and Chiroma ward in Lafia local government, where the total accreditation that was 21,000 miraculously, magically turned to about 50,000 votes was allocated to that ward, and also the case of Chiroma ward that a magical 50,000 vote was also allocated to that ward, and we felt that the vote allocation is not something that we are happy with. We want to use this opportunity to call on all our supporters, about 660,000 patriotic Nasarawa State citizens that came out to support us, to support the process, and that also came out to register their dissatisfaction on the outcome, because the whole process was militarized. The security agencies were used against the people, and the people are out saying that they are not satisfied with the outcome of this election, and they want INEC to review the outcome of Nasarawa State election. And we're using this opportunity to appreciate all our supporters across Nasarawa State, the obedient supporters that collapsed their structure to support us, and all the aggrieved APC members and PDP supporters, and those that believe in our project. They have tested me in the last 12 years that I went to National Assembly to represent them. They saw my performance. They saw that I am instrumental to so many changes in Nasarawa State. They appreciate my impact, and that is why they came out overwhelmingly to give us the support. I want to use this opportunity to thank the entire people of Nasarawa State, and to also reassure them that we shall reclaim our mandate, God's willing.
All right, although some assertions that you made may not be correct, and you probably are wrong in some of your assertions, but then the essence of the conversation is about your grievances, and that's the reason why we've given you your right of reply and the right of say on this program tonight. But let's get to it. There are a few areas in Nasarawa State in that election your party had taken exception to what happened in Gayam, in Chiroma, some words there that you said that elections, and you had sweeping victory. That's how your party couched it. What are the alternative results that you think you have? Do you have the IRF result? What exactly is your own evidence that you have that gives you that position, that gives you that stance?
Shehu, in the same election, the total accreditation that returned the state assembly member in Gayam ward was 13,000, and there was a public pronouncement to that effect. And ours was 33,000. That was inflected, and the evidence is on IRF. And I also believe that your station also closely monitored what's transpired in Gayam ward and Chiroma ward, and the evidence are there. And that's why we're insisting that the allocation of votes in Chiroma and Gayam ward is unlawful, and we are appealing to authorities and those that are in charge of the election process to also consider the agitation of the people of Nasarawa State.
So if you look at what happened, so let's roll back a bit. And let's look at the entire process, and I'll come to some of the details. Generally speaking, in Nasarawa State, would you describe the election as free and fair?
Not at all. It's not free and fair.
Was the beavers
issues?
Yeah. Was the beavers used in the conduct of that election?
Of course, it was used. What transpired was a case of 2 added to 9 from their 9,000 votes, and they added 2,000 to make it 29,000 in order to secure return for the governor to be returned. And if you look at all the A series or from EC8 series that were uploaded at the IREF, you will see that the total accreditation of Gayam is 13,000, and that of Chiroma is 21,000. But what in the from EC8D that Sule was returned or was allocated votes, you will see that they inflated the figures to 56,000, and the total registered voters in Gayam was 58,000. And according to the document that returned Sule, they said that those total vote cast was almost 98% of total registered voters. Those are the issues that we want the whole world to see, the kind of atrocity and electoral fraud committed in Nasarawa State.
Now, what have you done since that the election was declared? I mean, you have a window for which you need to take this up.
Naturally, we have to take the necessary action by engaging our lawyers to look at what is necessary. We have to rely on judiciary to do justice to the people of Nasarawa State and all the people that came out to support us. We are saying with one voice that it's a collective project, and we will seek redress at the court of law to ensure that the vote and the mandate that people of Nasarawa State came out and invested their trust on us is reclaimed.
There were a lot of, I mean, when I spoke with the governor, he's of the view that there are a lot of visitors who are residents, non-Nasarawa citizens who are resident, most of them working in Abuja, but resident in the areas like Karu and the rest, and resident in Nasarawa State. According to him, he said these are the people who made his victory a very difficult one. But he has said it that your party does not have any chance in this election, considering what he has done on the ground and the strength of your party in that election. How do you react to this?
Shemu, I want to use this opportunity to encourage everybody resident in Nasarawa State to take Nasarawa State as their home. And I want to use this opportunity to also guide the governor that I defeated the governor in his ward, I defeated him in his unit, I defeated the governor in his zone, I defeated him and even his deputy in his local government. And that is not, if he is from Nakonga local government, you can see that I defeated him across from the wards to the unit, from the unit to the ward to local government. And then in the senatorial district, I defeated him. I defeated the deputy in his local government, that is Doma local government. So it is not true that visitors or people that settle in Nasarawa State are the reason why it makes it difficult for him. I don't want to join issue with the governor because people are aware and people are ready to also remind him that he has no right to call anybody resident in Nasarawa State a visitor, because we know his history, we know his story, we know that his grandfather is not from Nasarawa State. There's no grave of his grandfather in Nasarawa State. His father came to Nasarawa State like every other person in Karo local government. Therefore, it is high time for us to guide ourselves and our public statement regarding people that we should provide good governance for them. My focus is not to look at all those issues, because the evidence are there that we defeated the governor, and 99.5% of the result on IREF has been downloaded, and our victory was very clear, and I'm sure even your station has analyzed that outcome. And I want to also reassure the governor that he should accept defeat and do the needful, because he had the people of Nasarawa State have rejected him. The people of his ward, unit, and local government and his zone entirely rejected him. Nasarawa State is very key and strategic to the federal capital. And we want to use this opportunity to invite anybody that is willing to stay in Nasarawa State to feel free and disconnect and reject what the governor is saying about them, because he's a loser. He has lost in 2019 and reached his way back to the seat. And this 2023, the people of Nasarawa State entirely demonstrated their rejection for his person, because he has underperformed. He has provided misgovernance to the people of Nasarawa State, and that is why he has spoke with a loud voice that is not their choice. They would rather prefer to stay with the man behind the new Nasarawa State project, the man that has drilled 1,500 boreholes across Nasarawa State, the man that is instrumental to 18,000 lives on NHIS, the man that is instrumental to 18 primary health centers in Nasarawa State. I have served the people of my constituency in National Assembly, and that's the reason why they have trusted me, and they are giving me this opportunity, and they have demonstrated it in the last election.
Mr. Ombugado, yeah, we're due for another break. But, I mean, you can't ask someone that has been declared winner to accept defeat, because, I mean, you can't call him a loser, because in the real sense, he is the winner, except the court rule otherwise. So let's stay with the fact and what we know for now. But we will go on a break.
He's a winner by pronouncement.
Yeah, but he is a winner. That is what the authorities, that is what the system has pronounced, but we will have to stay with it. That is what we have as a fact. But because this is politics, but this is politics that allowed you to be able to speak your own truth and speak your mind on this matter. But we'll stick with what we know, which is what INEC has declared. But when we come back from the break, we'll look at a few other issues that have been raised in this election. Stay with me, Mr. Ombugado. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. Dr. David Ombugado, the PDP governorship candidate, has been speaking with us. He's live with us virtually from Jos in Plateau State, and we're speaking about reactions of his party and himself on the outcome of the election, where Governor Abdullahi Sule has been returned and declared winner for a second term in office. So let's get back to the conversation. Part of what we discussed, I had a conversation with Governor Abdullahi Sule, was the influence. A lot of people who have followed the Nasarawa politics, you know, the influence and the numbers and of the Egon-speaking people of Nasarawa State, and how things panned out in this election. Are you worried that the issues of ethnicity and religion played a major role, which he accused you of fueling to a large extent?
There are things that I expected of a governor that has governed Nasarawa State for 4 years. And my focus and determination is to be a leader that will apply the principle of good governance, that is inclusiveness. I came from the tribe, yes. We are spread across the state, yes. On record, yes, they have about 6 members of the State Assembly now, but that's not important. I want to be a governor of the entire state, and I don't join issues. These are not issues for public discussion. And the governor will come and isolate a tribe and begin to talk about it. They have their strength, but it's not about, we're talking about good governance. So those are not issues that we should come and start debating on national television, that the Egon tribe are trying to monopolize. Well, I'm aware that they have 6 members out of 24 in the State Assembly. That is his own business if he does not want to recognize their strength. But what matters, I was voted by his own people, in his own unit, in his own ward. If you ask the governor where his unit result, the governor lost to PDP in his unit and he sent thugs to come and destroy the vote. And that is why, how can a chief security officer of a state not be able to secure?
But do you have evidence that, Mr. Mbugado, do you have evidence that he did that? Because when you make a sweeping statement that the governor came and sent talks, you must have evidence to it. If not, I mean, it doesn't make sense to make those kind of assertions.
I have a reason. Who is the chief security officer of Nasarawa State? How can't he not secure his units?
No, but I'm saying the allegations that you are making that he sent thugs to disrupt the election, that is a very grave allegation that you are making. If you do not have any evidence to it, I mean, it's unfair to make those kind of allegations on national television.
Okay, let it be record that the governor's unit in his community, the vote has been destroyed in the 2 units in his community. Despite that, we defeated him in his unit, in his ward, in his local government, in his zone. And he has no any result to show because he is ashamed for the whole world to know that he has lost his own unit. I appreciate a Democrat like Abdullahi Adamu that lost to Labour Party in his unit. He didn't send anybody to come and destroy the ballot in his unit. He lost to PDP. He didn't send anybody to come and destroy the unit. But the governor, whether he is the one or he's not the one, but he has failed to secure the votes in his unit. And he has nothing to show. Therefore, the chief security officer of Nasarawa State has failed to provide security in his unit and in his ward. And the votes in his unit were destroyed. But we believe that he was ashamed of the defeat.
All right.
So please, I want this medium to advise him to be a Democrat like the former governor, Abdullahi Adamu.
Let's close now. What would be your next line of action in the situation that you found yourself?
We have windows that we're taking advantage. The provision of the new electoral act section 65 that talks about an opportunity, because while they were busy rigging us, we laid a complaint and they insisted that we should go for it. That was what the REC said. They added 20,000, our agent complained. They added 50,000, our agent, they allocated 50,000 to their Gayam ward. Our agent complained and they said we should go for review. So we took advantage of their advice and we are law-abiding citizens of Nasarawa State, and we have forwarded a petition. We have forwarded a petition to the INEC, and we are hoping that they are going to look at our complaint and then review it and then return and reclaim, and so that we can reclaim the mandate of the people of Nasarawa State.
David Mbugado, the PDP governorship candidate in Nasarawa, said, thank you so much for your time tonight. I appreciate it. And I wish you the very best in your endeavor.
I want to sincerely thank China's television and hope that we'll have a better relationship, particularly your correspondent in Nasarawa State. And also want to thank all the protesters that came out to show and demonstrate their dishappiness with the election process. And we hope that the system will be strengthened by their concern and the outcome of their protest. We hope that Nigerians and civil society, international organizations will weigh into the case of Nasarawa State that is unique. We are asking for justice for Nasarawa State. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate your time. Well, that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. God bless Nigeria.